My pleasure.
Well done.
Oh, thanks. Oh, I meant to get you in there.
Let's hear it for Nathan Cullen. You know, Nathan and Elizabeth May have worked so hard on this file. I don't know if I've ever seen politicians work so hard. I mean, the number of town halls that he's done in the last month comes to about 20 all across the country. I mean, how many politicians do that kind of work? So I'm really appreciative. He's working for us, and we have to thank him for that. And we have to thank Elizabeth for dedicating so much of it. You should have seen these guys when the ERRE was sitting. These guys were working incredible days. Not just them, the Liberals and the Conservatives as well. The whole committee worked extremely hard. So it was dispiriting for everybody when that report was essentially dissed and set aside. So the battle goes on. And Nathan was quite correct to point to BC, which is going to be a shining light for the whole country, I believe, before very, very long. And yeah, so we're going to get PR. We're going to start in BC, obviously. We're not going to start federally. We're starting in BC. And I don't know how closely people follow, what's happening in different areas, but you also have within BC, the city of Vancouver has been working to bring in PR. And of course, PEI had a referendum not so very long ago. We know that, called a plebiscite, but they voted 52% for mixed member proportional in that case. There's interesting things happening in Quebec as well. All of the opposition parties in Quebec have come out that with the next election, they are going to run on a PR platform, a common, well, in a sense, common. I mean, obviously, they're still going to compete because parties compete. I mean, even the NDP and the Green are going to compete in the next election. There's nothing surprising about that. But the fact that they should all come out in favor of PR means that if there was a change of government in Quebec in the next provincial election, we would have PR there. And so, yeah, so as opposition parties gain power, as they will over time, we are increasingly, I think, going to get, I mean, we're on the right side of history, are we not? Yes. And we're going to get it. So, I'm going to pass the floor to Ron Weigand and to Danielle Ray. Ron is 76 years old. He's the man who's just finished doing the walk. He needs very little introduction. I think you all know about him. So he'll say a few words. And Daniel, you may have seen, how many were here in February 11th and February 5th? Okay, well, you all heard Daniel at that time, the angry young man, disappointed on PR. He will speak to us again and bring the voice of youth, which I think is extremely important on this file. So, Ron, why don't you come up and say a few words?
Thanks very much, Rael. And it's wonderful news that we've heard from about the British Columbia situation. And I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about British Columbia in the near future. And I even have a few comments that I wanted to make about that myself. So I also want to say what a wonderful job that Rael has been doing on organizing this whole thing. This is the first time we've had a joint project going between Fair Vote Ottawa, Fair Vote Kingston, and Fair Vote Toronto. And well, with all you folks here, it has obviously been worthwhile and it's been a great success. So thanks everybody for coming out. I've been walking for the last week from Kingston to Ottawa for PR, and it's been pretty cool. And I've enjoyed it all the way, but today was the best day coming in because we had a whole bunch of people joining us all the way from Hogsback along the canal here and getting bigger and bigger all the way. So a few months ago, the Prime Minister decided that there was not enough consensus across the country to keep his promise that he expressed many times to keep our voting system. Consensus. But getting the consensus is not the job of busy Canadian citizens. No! Canadians elect their representatives to the House of Commons to identify and understand the problems that Canadians face, to consult with appropriate experts, to debate the options in the House of Commons, not in the PMO, and to do the right thing for Canadians. That's right. In the 1960s, Lester Pearson led what is arguably the most successful federal government in living memory. Maybe not in the living memory of everybody here, but in the living memory of some people here. It was successful because it introduced Medicare, our iconic social program, as well as the Canada Pension Plan and the old age pension. There was no consensus across Canada for Medicare in the early 1960s. But two important conditions did exist. First, there was an existing model of Medicare in Saskatchewan due to Tommy Douglas. Second, it was a minority government. They actually had to debate with the opposition MPs. They couldn't go to the PMO. They had to listen to the MPs, especially Tommy Douglas, who was a socialist. They consulted experts. They considered the options, and then the MPs did the right thing. We may have a similar situation after 2019.
Absolutely!
As Nathan Cullen pointed out, the results of the recent British Columbia election may well lead to a model of proportional representation in British Columbia. It looks more likely now than it was an hour ago. Second, many people voted Liberal in 2015 because of Mr. Trudeau's promise. Maybe even some people here. If they change their vote in 2019, there could be a minority government.
There will be!
Well,
No mistake! He's not a progressive!
that's right. Will our MPs, 50 years after Lester Pearson, do the right thing?
I hope so! They will!
Remains to be seen. I'm here walking for PR to partner with and support Nathan Cullen's Keep the Promise campaign. The vote on May the 31st may or may not go our way. But if not, we've got to be clear. We're not going away.
We're not going away! We're not going away! We're not going away!
So we'll be walking for PR next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, until a truly representative House of Commons is a reality. Thank you very much.
And he betrayed me, not a progressive! Don't keep